Hello guys, Suntorin here, and welcome to another episode of the Timelord of Azeroth. Today we are going to do some cleanup at Zabra'jin. We have a few just off-the-wall quests that we have to do, but first we have to head back to Cenarian Refuge because we forgot to do a quest line, or at least the breadcrumb into the Steam Vaults, which is the dungeon that, or one of the dungeons. And I said that we are only doing dungeons if we breadcrumb into them. This is going to be a bit of a longer episode unless I do the editing I was talking about in the last Horde episode. So, off to the Cenarian Refuge and then back to Zangramarsh, or back to Zabra'jin. Trying to adjust my mic and getting all screwed up. Here we go. I'm a professional at this. So first we're going to pick up this quest that takes us into the Steam Vaults and then head back. And then we'll queue up and head back.
Greetings.
Storming the Steam Vault. We have not, as of yet, been able to stop the Naga in the Steam Vault, where most of the pumping stations are located. Thankfully, the expedition I sent there is hard at work trying to change that fact. Will you travel to the Steam Vault and offer Watcher Zhang and her crew your aid? Okay, and we are having all sorts of issues here. I think one of the add-ons does not like my computer at the moment. Hopefully, that does not continue. Specific dungeon, we are not going for the slave pens. We are going for the Steam Vault. I don't know how quick on a Thursday afternoon we are going to get one specific dungeon, but here we go.
Greetings, man.
See if that works better there. Okay. Keep adjusting things and moving stuff around. So this is going to be the last episode in Zangramarsh for the Horde, and I think we have one or two more for the Alliance. The Alliance is just a little bit behind on how I planned things, I think. So it may be 2 episodes left. Which is fine because we are still deciding if we're going to do the raids the way that I think we're going to do them. And a lot of that depends on the level we hit and when we hit it. Because I think that 30 may be pushing it, 32 may be possible. Now we are nearing that point where we are going to have to level cap ourselves at 32 to 35. I haven't decided that yet either. And that'll require us going back to Ogrimmar. That will probably be done off camera, though. In that time, I will be figuring out my... Oh, you know, we've lost a lot of our transmog look, and we kind of have a weird look going on. So we'll retransmog at the same time. Level cap, come back. And that'll probably be in Nagrand at that point. I mean, we'll be in Nagrand at the end of this episode, but we will be in Nagrand at that point. Alright, so to start off, I believe we start up here with
Talk to me.
nope, not that one.
Spirits be with you.
We start over here. I don't think it's the...
Shut.
Nope, that's...
Okay.
The Witch Doctor. There we go. Burst cat mushrooms, man. You like mushrooms, man? There be a powerful one here in Zangarmarsh growing real close to Zabra'jin. You gotta be careful, though. They be calling it the burst cat mushroom for a reason. If you be getting too close without taking the proper precautions, it'll blow up right on you. Poof. Right out into a cloud of toxic spores. I've been using them for reading the omens, but they be almost gone now.
Be with you, man.
So we gotta go find 6 burst cat mushrooms. We go to the south. Go out that way. Now there is a bunch that we could do together. We're kind of just gonna take this one slow. And I have no doubt that we are going to hit 30 in this episode. So this will be a longer episode. I know that.
Relax.
Have you got the mushrooms, man?
Careful, man.
These be excellent. I tell you what, since you've been a good sport and helped with the mushrooms, I'll let you in on the fun.
Be seen.
This marsh should be messing with one thing. There be no murlocs here. Don't worry. I got a plan to fix the problem. See Gargle and Gurgle over there? I plan to give them the gift of murlocs to the lost ones. Take this cage with you to Daggerfen village and release them in the northeastern cluster of huts. Now, you know I can't be risking Gargle and Gurgle with you, but I'll give you a cage full of colorful young murlocs. Just set it on a flat rock and you'll be fine up there and open the door.
Stay away from
Okay, so back up this way. We probably, again, could have done this with the other quests out there, but I was trying to maintain story, and I'm not being very good at that. Now, the whole plan was to this was going to be a cleanup episode. This is a episode just solely dedicated really to finishing up the quest lines in Zangarmarsh and get us on to Nagrand for the Horde. The Steam Vault got added because I completely forgot that we had to do that. We can just get out the way we came. Be interesting if that noise is in there, because I was not expecting. I don't even know why that noise is in there. All right.
You come get the food.
Excellent work. I do hope you had a good time. That's level 29. We can then move on to... We can do talent points. See, we're doing that thing where it's freezing on me, and I don't know why. Okay, guys, I am back. We are having some technical issues with OBS.
How you doing, man?
But we are just gonna have to move on through it, power through. Alright.
Stay away from the voodoo.
It's a relief to be in some place with water after trekking through the wasteland of Hellfire Peninsula. I was worried there might not be any respectable fishing holes in Outland. Now I'm glad I lugged my fishing supplies along. For the most part, fishing's been good, except for those no-good Fenclaw thrashers in Serpent Lake. Not only do they scare the fish away, but they're bold enough to snap the bait right off my hook. I spend more time rebaiting the hook than I do catching anything. Okay, let's go get some Fenclaw thrashers. Are we back in the... Yes, okay. We're back in the Dungeon Finder. I feel like this is from something before that is no longer used. Oh, that's a longer swim than I thought it was going to be. Let's go back to this island, or let's go back to the mainland. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought there was. Okay, we'll take the water. What'll be interesting is if we don't actually get the dungeon during this episode, and then there's a whole different thought about how we're going to do this. We need one more. The rest of this episode really is just our hunting episode. Outside of doing the dungeon. And of course, in the off chance we don't get the dungeon, then it's just a hunting episode. And that was a quick run back to Zabra'jin.
Hey there.
I can't wait to return to fishing. Now I'll be able to return to town with some real fish in my bucket and Gambarinka won't be able to make fun of me anymore.
Bye-bye now.
You've dealt with the most of the little Hydra, but I doubt Magresh was impressed by your display. He's a cunning, ferocious beast, and he's dodged many an angler in his time. I intended to be the last one he'll ever bother. He's bound to be hiding deep in the waters of Serpent Lake to the northeast. He's a has-been. He just doesn't know it yet.
Careful, man.
Biggest of them all, and I believe Terraclaw.
Be seeing ya.
You know, we'll just pick it up anyway. Okay, I've caught every kind of fish that lives in the marsh, but there's one that eludes me. Sure, I've caught eels and mudfin frenzies, but the last time I was out on one of the isles in Marshlight Lake, I hooked a gigantic bog strock that snapped my line and got away. Terraclaw he's called, and I won't rest until he's dead. He's too big for any fisherman to catch, so I suppose we'll have to kill him the old-fashioned way. Okay, so we have 2 quests in opposite directions. We're going to take care of Magresh first, and then we'll head the other way and get Terraclaw. The good thing is he's just at the tip of this island, so we don't have to worry about going too far away. Didn't get a lot out of that. And this is what I'm talking about with the easy mode, is that I feel like that fight should be more difficult. Like, if this is going to be a terrible beast that is difficult to hunt, it should be difficult to hunt. He says, geared out in... I don't even actually know how much of my gear is still... heirlooms. I think it's just 2 pieces? 3 pieces? So maybe this was my mistake of not... of gearing out with heirloom pieces. So once we hit 35 and they're not really relevant anymore, my opinion maybe changed. And that also may be why on my level 55 hunter going through all this, things have gotten more difficult. At a weird site. He's still coming. Okay, there he goes. Oh, we got another one. Okay. Okay. We'll just get through all these in quick order. And that is the end of Terror Claw. We've been in it for half an hour. Actually, more than half an hour. We've only been back on for half an hour. Which also means this episode is going very long. So it may be necessary that we not split this up, because we're more than halfway through, but we may have to reconsider doing the Steam Vaults in the middle of it, unless it pops up, and we'll figure something out then.
Don't be shy.
I'm sure the old boy must have seen his days coming to an end with all these new arrivals the old order couldn't stand. It's just as well his spirit is at rest now. We want... Guess that one.
You be careful, man.
Pursuing Terror Claw. At last, they say every great fisherman has a story of the one that got away, but I haven't yet met a creature I couldn't beat one way or another.
Stay away from the voodoo.
Okay. Let's put the elixirs on here. We've also got... Okay, we got 2 more quests, really, to go.
What you want? Later.
It's impossible to work with all the infernal buzzing. Do you hear it? I can't get it out of my head. I know exactly what's making that noise, too. It's those damn marshlight bleeders. The noise always comes from the south and to the west of the village. They're too big to swat, crush underfoot, or wave away. The only way to stop them, that unholy droning is to kill them. I don't care how you do it, Crefez, just quiet them. And this is the one I have said several times that I could have been doing with. Oh no, this isn't Marshfang Stingers. That's the next one. Okay. So every time I've said that, I was wrong. Not the first time that's happened in this series. The Spore Guard to our left. We should be careful because they are not friendly with us. Oh, we're done. Thought we were gonna have to kill a couple more. It's really down to a tank. We're just waiting on a tank to come in. But this is what I get for trying to dungeon on a Thursday afternoon. I do normally record and stream at night, but I'm switching my schedule around, so it's going to be daytime stuff more often than not.
Me got the good stuff, man.
I thought so. I can hear the difference already. I'll finally be able to get back to work thanks to you. If you ever find yourself in need of trade skill supplies, don't forget old Gambrinica.
Stay away from them.
The damp atmosphere of the marsh has taken the toll on my metal tools. It's made woodworking a lot more difficult than it ought to be, so I've given up on metal blades. Turns out that the Marshfang slicers living in to the south and west of town grow blades that are sharper than any steel I've ever owned. They're also resistant to rust and wear. It's just a little tricky to attach them to a handle, but I think I might have figured it out. I'd appreciate any blades you could bring me.
Spirits be with you, man.
So this was the one I thought that we had, or we could have had, this whole time that I was wrong about. That's a greater sport bat. That's not what we need. Meant to hit there. There we go. We got a rare? Oh, we do. We're gonna go take out Count Ungor. I don't know if he counts on the Count of the Marshes. This is not in my list anywhere. This bloody mandible comes from an unbelievably large creature. The nether ray that it belongs to has to be the largest ever seen in Zangarmarsh. Judging from its condition of the mandible, the Count must have abandoned a diet of Syrian in favor of living flesh. Surely the Cenarian expedition would be interested in such a specimen. Watcher Lisao has a small camp to the west of Quag Ridge. So this was going to be... I did not have this in my notes. I wasn't expecting to see him. This could change up a little bit of what we're doing, so... Especially with us being just about done with Zabra'jin. And still waiting on the Serpent, the Steam Vault quests, or the Steam Vault dungeon. We may add an episode on the fly, because we have the time. Have you managed to scare up some of those Marshfang blades? These should keep me supplied for some time to come. I think some of the others have begun to take notice. I've had several offers to buy my blades already. Selling them on the side might provide better business than my customary goods.
Spirits be with you.
And we've completed Zabra'jin. We still do have a bunch of quests available, but most of them are, I think actually all of them are breadcrumbs. And I'm going to call it an episode here. We had the breadcrumb out, but getting the Count of the Marshes, I have to look at changing up some of the Alliance episodes, perhaps. And I do want to make sure we get the Steam Vault in. I should have done that in an earlier episode, but today, that is where we're going to call it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to like, comment, do all of the YouTube things, and I will see you in the next one.